is going on, everybody? Welcome to the season finale of the Legislative Director talking about legislative things. As always, she is the hero of our story and the only person here guaranteed to make it to the next season, Amber Marr, the Legislative Director. And with her, as always, not the Legislative Director, may or may not make it. I'm that, fun friend, comic relief that sometimes doesn't make it at the end of the show, Jason Tomsty. It's good to be here with you. Amber, it's been a long time. Viewers out there, it's been a really long time. We've missed you. Things have been happening. Hope you're safe wherever you are, because we're still in it. We are still in this.
We're still in COVID times.
It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Amber, you doing
Eventually.
okay? Seriously though, you doing okay?
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
for as long as it has been since we recorded last time, it doesn't feel that long. I really cannot believe that we're almost to Thanksgiving. So yeah.
'Tis the season. Glad that we made it this far. I can't really. It's been so long since we've chatted. My apologies for that. Folks are dedicated listeners. But we are here now, and Amber's going to give you a little bit of an update before we have some special guests joining us about some of the things that are happening in our some updates around our long-term care facilities. It's something that we've been talking about for a while now, since this whole thing got started. And there's been some developments and some new activities around it that the governor's done. And Amber's going to give you that rundown. And then we're going to talk some more to some more folks about other things. That was very vague. Some more and more folks on other things. I don't even
I
take
think
it
people
away,
are
Amber.
probably wondering what exactly is happening right now. Um, anyway, thanks, Jason. I think I'm with you on I cannot remember where we updated everyone last time. Things are
It's
either moving so quickly that I forget what we've updated people on, or they are crawling by. So it's just a very weird year. But I think last time we might have mentioned that we had sent a letter to the governor around our thoughts on some of the CARES Act funding and where we would like to see some of those funds go to, especially long-term care facilities and personal protective equipment, home and community-based services, more testing, et cetera. The letter just went a little bit more in depth onto some suggestions on where we thought some of that money really needed to be used. That was quite a bit ago. So just recently, about 2 weeks ago, the governor announced what they sort of referred to as their 5-point plan, or 5 targeted steps to help long-term care facilities. As everyone knows, the numbers are beginning to increase of positivity of COVID. So that is also beginning to hit our long-term care facilities very hard once again, just like at the beginning of this pandemic. So the 5 steps that they decided to take included sending in the Indiana National Guard to assist with testing, reporting those test results, screening employees, and just simple infection control practices to sort of take some of that off of the staff, as a lot of those things were taking staff away from actually giving care to residents. The second thing is that they really reached out and asked unemployed and retired individuals to once again sign up to volunteer as a member of the Indiana Healthcare Reserve Workforce. The plan for that, they've asked people to sign up through that all year during COVID, to help alleviate some of the strain that has been put on the healthcare system. But they really did another reach for this, because the plan was to hire healthcare reserve workforce to supplement the long-term care facility resources. So they're really going to look to that to hire people to really help the staffing shortages that are happening. And then obviously they're going to provide more PPE, which we are very excited about. They're providing about 2 million N95 masks for long-term care facilities. And they're also doing about 400,000 face shields and 680,000 gowns that they announced. The fourth thing on that list would be requiring CMS infection control training for all long-term care facility employees. And then the fifth one was actually going to try to reduce ongoing admissions to those facilities by allowing an immediate discharge from a hospital to a patient's home instead of from a hospital to those long-term care facilities. Basically, this was a step in a wonderful direction. Indiana received a first of its kind waiver from CMS. They applied for a grant, and they were chosen to do a pilot program for this particular sort of expedited eligibility. So when people are leaving the hospital, they can apply to be put back in their homes versus going directly to a nursing facility or a long-term care facility. I
And
believe, sorry, go ahead.
I'm no expert in this area, but I'm pretty sure that that's kind of a big deal, right? And
It's
a
a very
pretty
big
big
deal.
change in policy, if I recall. So I guess that's good news that
Very good
this
news.
is something that's happening.
Yes. I believe the last time we heard and spoke with the Department of Health and the Family and Social Services Administration, there had been 170 applications. And when they announced that this was that they had been approved for this pilot or this waiver, 20 Hoosiers had already been able to move from hospital to home. And that was when they actually announced this. So when we talked to the administration, I want to say it was last week, knowing that 170 applications had already come in since the beginning, this is going to be helpful. So just trying to keep individuals out of these facilities where some of this is spreading, just to alleviate the hardship that it's placing on both staff and residents that are affected by the virus.
Okay. All
Yep.
right.
And I think that covers it. Sorry, that was a lot.
No, but it's good developments. Glad to see that there's some action taking place on this, although it's not great that even more action has to take place because this thing is still going on and spiking right now towards the end of the year.
Jason, remind everyone the percentage of
Yeah, so here in Indiana, and I actually think it's excuse me, a little bit higher than other places, but 59% of COVID-19 deaths or 58%, I think it's 58% of COVID-19 deaths in the state of Indiana are residents of long-term care facilities. So it is disproportionately impacting long-term care facilities and its residents. So definitely something to step up and do something to help prevent that. And hopefully these actions that are taking place will help with that. So, okay,
yeah.
well.
And just a really quick plug for AARP. We just released our second round of numbers and comparison of nursing homes across the United States on our own dashboard. I know we fought for the state to have the long-term care dashboard, and that is still there on the coronavirus.in.gov website, but AARP also has our own dashboard, and we will try to put that up at a later date. Sorry, I didn't say this beforehand, so we don't have the website ready, but we can put it up. I just wanted to make sure that if anybody was interested in seeing sort of the information that we're gathering and posting, I wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I think coming up soon, they're going to have a new interactive map or something like that where you can look at each state and hover over it and get information. So yeah, that's going to be solely nursing homes and data that they're getting from CMS, if I recall correctly. But
that is correct.
All right, so that's what's happening with long-term care. There was recently election. I don't know if you all knew that, but there was some. I think it was in the news. There was an election that happened, and we were involved with. We were doing some voter engagement around that, and for that joining us now, friends of the show, and folks that you haven't seen since our road trip back in January, I believe. Like I said, friends of the show, colleagues, just all around good dudes. Mondla Moyo, Addison Pollock. Thanks for joining us. Look at that.
Thanks for having me, man. Look at that face. You
Are we
guys
recording
stepped
right
up
now?
the game. Are we on?
This thing on?
First of all, man, I appreciate you reminding me that was actually 2020. For some reason, I thought that was last year, but I was like,
I think it was like a decade ago.
What year are we in, man? Thanks for having us, guys.
So I appreciate you guys taking the time and joining us for this. So AARP, does a lot of voter engagement work around the older voters, the 50 plus voter. They make some decisions. So I think what we'll just start is let's talk a little bit. This is not in the run of show that I sent along to you guys, but I'm going to go down and jump down to one. AP, I'm going to kick it to you first to talk about just what is the voter, when we say voter engagement work, what did AARP do this cycle to just give people an idea of the work that we were doing around this?
Great question. So AARP is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, member organization, and we've been doing voter engagement work since over 30 years ago. So late 80s, we've been doing, since the late 80s, we've been doing voter engagement work. We do not endorse candidates. We do not donate to candidates. What we do is we educate our members and the 50 plus in population generally, where candidates stand on the issues that matter most to them and their families. So things like Medicare, Social Security, health security, all of those things, as well as livable communities work, fraud work, all the issues that we care about. So what we do is we reach out to candidates who are, running their campaigns. We ask them to do things like answer video voter guides, so answering questions about the issues we care about, participate in telephone town halls, so speaking directly to our members, providing a forum for our members to ask candidates questions directly. So we do a lot of educational work around that. So when we are doing voter engagement, we are trying to educate the 50 plus where candidates stand on our issues.
So, and what was we did a lot. Even though we couldn't do, we weren't doing like in-person events and stuff like that, we did do a lot. And just give folks a little bit of an idea. And Mondla, you can jump into as you think of things.
Sure.
What are some of the things that we did to engage the 50 plus voter this past election?
Yeah, so I think from ARP Indiana's perspective, there were a couple of things that we made sure we had an opportunity for folks to engage the candidates, particularly in the 5th Congressional District here in sort of central Indiana. Both candidates were kind enough to film voter video guides for us on 5 questions that we asked them. Those questions were on prescription drug pricing, the impact on COVID to the 50 plus worker, Medicare and Social Security, and what long-term care. So I think you and Amber just got through a conversation around long-term care. So how are they planning to work on that on a federal level? So both candidates did those video voter guides for us. Then they each took time to do a telephone town hall where we called out to our members in the 5th district. And they answered questions from them. So thank you to both former State Senator Victoria Sparks, now Congresswoman-elect Sparks. So congratulations to her and her team. And then Democratic candidate Christina Hale as well for engaging with our members in that space. And so, yeah, those were the sort of big ticket items that we did. I know shout outs are coming out later, but also big shout out to our friends at Indy Chamber. They hosted a virtual Hobnob this year, and so we were a proud presenting sponsor of the Hobnob. That was again another opportunity for us to present both the candidates for governor through our work, or more importantly, through Amber's work with the Indiana Debate Commission and presenting the governor's race to the folks there. But then also our state director and boss, Sarah Waddle, had an opportunity to interview the candidates for the 5th Congressional District again during the hobnob. So that was just the gist of some of the work that we did as well. That we did this year during our voter video guide, voter engagement work in 2020. Jeez,
You're fine.
Dan's gonna have to work on that.
and there's AP. There's a couple of things that we did with regards to, I think there's a town halls organization that also did some that we sponsored for 5th District debate, I guess, or town hall forum that we worked on. We did some postcards. There's other things. I don't know. What am I missing?
Absolutely.
I know there's
we did a lot of things. So you kind of touched on one already. We partnered with 2 innovative new nonprofits. One's the Indiana Citizen, who is doing its best to educate the electorate on where candidates stand, but also making sure people are registered to vote. So doing all that good civic engagement stuff leading up to the election. And then Indiana Town Halls is a new nonprofit which is conducting. They plan to hold town halls in every congressional district in the future and do that on a semi-regular basis. And so this is aimed at federal elected officials, and have them come out and talk to their constituents, talk about the issues that matter most to them. Basically, what a traditional town hall looks like, but these will be aired they'll be broadcasted through public television and online and all that good stuff. But yeah, you're correct. This time around, they coordinated a candidate forum between the 5th Congressional District candidates. I do want to give a huge shout out to our volunteers. We had a really good showing of our AARP Indiana volunteers across the state helping out. We had around 12 or so volunteers submit video voter guides. So everyone out there in Facebook land, you may have seen some of our, those shiny, happy faces of our volunteers.
Producer Dan, not all heroes wear capes.
There you go. That's right.
It's true.
And they are true heroes because they came out, they talked about, it's a really scary time, right? You're not sure about, like, should I go vote in person? Should I vote by mail, with this whole pandemic going on? So we had the volunteers say, like, this is why I'm voting. This is why it's important to me. And this is how I plan to vote this year. So we could kind of boost the voter confidence that, like, this is something that's, core to our values, and we're going to follow through with it. And then also, just really quickly, we made 555 dials into the 5th Congressional District. So we had a small group of volunteers making those calls through a really cool program called Hub Dialer. And they actually talked to 275 voters directly. So we did a little bit of phone banking, and our volunteers, we really couldn't have done it without them. So they don't wear capes, but they are heroes indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that those calls into the 5th Congressional District were get out the vote calls. So not necessarily like encouraging people to go out and vote, or at least make a plan of how they plan to vote on either on election day or before election day. So that was really important.
Reminding those folks to make that plan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was good work. If you have folks out there, if you're probably watching this on our Facebook page, you can just keep on scrolling down when you're done watching this and find all those volunteer videos. There's a whole bunch of them. Encourage you to take them. A lot of good folks, a lot of good stories about why it's important for them to vote, and why hopefully you all did as well. But it wasn't just the action wasn't just happening on the federal level. Amber, the entire Indiana House of Representatives. Wait, hold on.
She's about to make an appearance. Oh,
come on. We've heard her.
Let's do it.
You can't. We've heard her.
Barking.
Now you gotta show her.
So the problem is that when I'm doing anything on the computer, she has to be on my lap, you guys. And I was going to put her down because you were getting ready to call on me. So I was trying to be.
Let's see her.
I wasn't.
You weren't sneaky
Fanny.
enough.
There you go, Fanny.
Oh.
Get her, Fanny. I think Fanny's like the
That's
most greatest protective dog I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
yeah,
She's
I love it.
ferocious.
She
very
does
tough.
sound
She's
pretty
ferocious.
ferocious.
She is.
But yes, sorry,
So-
I will put her down now, and hopefully she will not try to get back up. Sorry,
Fanny,
guys.
good to see you. We've only heard you a few times on this show. It's good to finally see you.
Her first
Um,
debut, yes.
First
So
time long.
the Indiana General Assembly, also the entire Indiana House of Representatives was up, and then half the Senate. I mean, there was some movement there, but not a huge change. But kind of what happened on the General Assembly side of things this last cycle.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to look at my notes because actually what happened was the Republicans started out with a supermajority. We have been in a supermajority for a while now. In the House, they started out 67 Republicans and 33 Democrats. But after the election, they actually gained 4 seats. While the House will see 3 new Democrats, they actually lost seats. So it is going to be a little bit different, but nothing really changed as far as I think we could say the Republicans went from a supermajority to a super majority.
Yep.
fair.
But and obviously now the 2021 House breakdown will be 71-29.
Okay. And then on the Senate side, I think there'll be some new senators, but really only one seat changed hands, if I recall.
Yes. And I believe that it's 39-11 for 2021 now will be the breakdown in the Senate, 39 Republicans, 11 Democrats.
Okay. So Republicans still in charge for at the Indiana State House, and so nothing necessarily breaking news there. But all in all, it is.
I could go through the
ahead.
list, but I could go through the list, but it's really long. So
Yeah, look up your respective representative and to see if you're still represented by your the previous folks or it's somebody new. It'd be like civic education. All right. So with that, that exciting election time. Good work to all who hopefully out there participated in the process. I'd like to think you did. And if you didn't, just don't tell me, and we'll pretend like you did. So good work to all you guys on that. Now let's get into it. Let's do some shout outs. We haven't done shout outs in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And AP and Mandla, you're gonna get in the mix on this too.
Love it.
And because you're guests, we'll let you go first. Mandla, I'll let you go first. Who's your shout out?
So yeah, we talked obviously a lot about Congressional District 5. That seat was an open seat because Congresswoman Susan Brooks was retiring, and so I wanted to give a personal shout out to her and her team. Big shout out to her. And hopefully she knows what's next is. If not, ARP has some great resources around that too. But big shout out to her, and her team and the work that they've done for the Congressional District 5. And then I got a little bit of a big shout out also to Amber Marr. She's the state legislative director. She talked a lot about the long-term care. She's right here in my square. Long-term care work. She's been really putting in a lot of time and effort and really grinding it out. I think big shout out to her as well. I've had a chance to be in the background and watch her work, so I really appreciate what she's doing around that stuff. Those are my shout outs.
Nice.
That's the truth right there. AP.
Yeah.
Who's your shout out?
So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm not going to pick a particular person. I don't want to select any favorites, okay? But I do want to pick. I do want to give a shout out to our poll workers, especially our 50 plus.
Here we go.
Yes.
Because they showed up, they represented, and it's a scary time, with the pandemic, especially for older adults. So I appreciate all of you that came out and worked the polls. Not only 50 plus, we even had some folks on our staff who worked the polls too. So shout out to you as well. And And I'm going to do a little staff shout out. Shout out to
Okay.
Jason for doing a lot of this video work
This is
and
ridiculous.
all the volunteer videos. Hey, he was the point person on those. So
I appreciate that.
you're welcome.
I
You're
promise
welcome.
we didn't bring you guys on to just.
Yeah, exactly. This is, you
No,
know,
this is what they,
I
this
just
is what
wanna
they
make
do.
another
By
episode.
the way, this is what they do, though. They get you on the show, and then they want you to talk about them. But
Yeah.
nobody, you
I know.
don't really know that because
Bunch
you
of
don't know
narcissists.
them. But I've known both of them for like
Yep, this
5,
is-
6 years now. But this is what they do.
This-
This is what
this whole show is a vanity
this,
exercise.
this is
Um,
what they do.
I may or may have not been forced to say that.
You guys got a glimpse into how the team works.
There we go. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
That was a good one, AP. Aside from me, about me, the poll workers I agree with. Other one,
Definitely,
not
for
so
sure.
much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Better
That-
shout outs for next time. Amber, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'll let you go last. We'll save the best for last. Amber Mar. So I am just like, look, Dan can put it back up on the screen. Inside Baseball. I'm gonna give a shout out to this team here and just the team AARP Indiana in general. It's been a interesting 9 months that we have all been in. You know, it is what it is. But we were able to do a lot of work, continue the work, but not only just around the long-term care stuff, but our voter engagement work. You know, there was a legislative session earlier in the year. I think there
Really?
was one. It was a while ago. We
Seemed
did
like
some
this
good.
was
We had some good work there. Our volunteers, just the whole AARP team. I gotta shout out. So yes, it's Inside Baseball, but you know, we're still out here. We're still getting the work done and trying to get the work done and do the best we can for the 50 plus. So shout out to the team. You know, I appreciate all of you. And so Amber, last shout out of the season.
Oh, man.
Well,
What do we got?
I have to cheat too because I want to
Okay,
do
that's fine.
two, if that's okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna echo
There's
what
no
everyone.
rules.
Well, good, because I'd break them anyway. I did just want to give a shout out and echo what you said to the AARP Indiana team. I think what is interesting is we are such a group that works together and we really can't be away from one another. I think that is what is so funny, even when we're traveling and around other state offices, you always see us like travel in like a
I
team.
believe that's
And I
called
think-
codependency.
Yeah, and I think it's not a good thing. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad.
I would like to say it's a good thing.
Okay,
But I
well,
will say
Put it in the
COVID,
good column.
yeah, COVID has really strained that for us because we can't be in person with one another. But I think that we have done an amazing job just trying to stay the course, keeping in touch and making sure that we don't lose that. And the amount of work that we have accomplished and what we have done during this time, I'm just really proud. So I just wanted to make sure that I echoed that from everyone that is saying that, because I know putting up with me during this time probably has also not been super fun.
You
I
didn't have
wanted-
to tell people that. You didn't have
Yeah, that's a full-time job.
Yeah, you could have left that one out.
Well, it needed to be said since we were being honest around here.
Okay.
So that was, thank you for letting me have that first one. And then my second shout out actually goes to Senator Jim Merritt. He decided to resign his seat. He did not run again this year, and or retire, I guess we could say, is what he decided to do. And I just wanted to give him a shout out because we really appreciate all of the work that he has done, not only with us, but also for all Hoosiers across the state. I think it's interesting because when I was looking him up, there was one thing that I didn't know, but currently he is the longest serving Republican state senator. So I thought that was interesting, but then that wasn't the one that I didn't really know. The second fact that I wanted to share is he's also the longest serving caucus chairman in the history of the Indiana General Assembly.
Wow.
He's served in that leadership role for the Senate Majority Caucus since 2004. And so I thought that was amazing. And it is going to be a big loss not having him in the State House and around to just work with and listen to and share resources. And, I think that he is a huge advocate and he's going to be very missed. So.
For sure.
All right. So actually, that was a good last shout out for the season because this is the legislative director talking about legislative things. We probably should talk about a legislator for a shout out. So that was good. That was good stuff. Well, I think a couple of housekeeping things before I let everybody go here until whenever next time is, probably sometime in 2021. But obviously, you can watch all these shows on Facebook or go to aarp.org/legislative things. You can catch them there. Also, it is in podcast form for those of you folks who enjoy those. So get that where you can. I will also give a plug for these two gentlemen that have joined us who are doing a little something for us called This Is In. And you can find they're going to be doing some more of those videos. Go to the website that Dan has put on the screen. There's a couple of videos that are up there as well, but it's going to be these guys chatting with some of our local partners about things and all of that. And oh no, we've lost AP. That is
It's tragic.
that seems like a fitting way to end this, don't you think? He's either internet problems or he's just over it. I'm out. I'm getting out of here.
Nobody gave a shout out. Shout out to AP, man. Shout out AP, man. We love you, brother.
Yeah, look, internet, it's no joke. We should talk. We should do something about broadband, Amber. Let's put this on the list for next year.
Can you put that in your notes?
Let's put that on the list. Let's continue that conversation.
I will.
But no, check out that work. That's going to be there's going to be more of those videos here coming soon with Mandala and Addison, and maybe we'll get that turned into a podcast as well. Let's just keep on growing that umbrella of of shows. What's
by
that?
the way, update. Apparently, he was kicked out. So let's not. He didn't accidentally hang up.
He got kicked out.
Yeah, so we are
Okay.
sorry.
Sorry,
Okay.
AP.
We'll catch him on the flip side.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. All right. Well, anything else for the good of the order before we, that's it for. Yeah, we've been doing this. This was the long season 3. Oh, wait.
Wait. Is he back?
Wait.
Yay! Got back.
All right.
I'm sorry, this darn internet. How's it going?
We just said Amber's got to do something about this broadband thing.
Yeah, let's get on it.
We're I'll just plug in your guys' show. We're gonna get more of those things going and up. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for more legislative director talking about legislative things in the new year, and just in general, all of AARP Indiana's work. So yeah, with that, until next time on the legislative director talking about legislative things, we will see you then.